Lights, camera, bitch, smile. And stilettos for me.
Liv.
Stilettos. On. This podcast brought to you by On.
Sponsor us.
All three of us.
On. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. We have a minty.
Hey.
We have a I don't know what color that is. Like a light
cream. Eggshell.
It's cream.
Cream eggshell. We've got kind of a cream one over here too. Like,
cream and cream. Hey, On, I have a proposition for you. I know you make like running shoes, right? Clearly we're not running.
Big runners.
But I'm telling you, there's demand for podcasting shoes. Check it out.
Also, Cloud.
When he stands to do
on Cloud, we could do a total collaboration with On Stormcloud.
Truth.
Idea, light bulb.
On Cloud, the Dusty Thunder
We just need to make a pitch deck and send it to On Cloud and be like,
I'm
On
down.
Stormcloud.
Back to Liv, real quick. One thought before we dive in on our itinerary here. Liv, whenever she first came on, we were like, it seems like she's not a girl's girl. Right, like she has trouble like being a girl's girl to the girls, but she ends up only caring about the girls. And maybe it seems like she was a girl that grew up with brothers or something, and didn't have a lot of.
I could see that.
Didn't have a lot of like close girl connections, and then like for the first time ever, really gets to get thrown into like the sisterhood of something and gets caught up in that.
Yeah, she does say
she does seem kind of like a bros girl.
Yeah, but then it seems like she doesn't really connect with the guys either. As a friend, she does.
Yes, as friend, she does.
Yeah. Also, you've watched Selling Sunset.
Yes.
But you've never seen Selling Sunset.
I've seen a little tiny bit of it.
She reminds me of Amanza in Selling Sunset, of who has to be in everybody's shit. Like, if you ever watch Selling Sunset and these two girls can be over here fighting and Amanza comes up, what's going on? What's happening here? What's the problem? And that's exactly what Liv does in every, like the other, I can't remember who it was. I think it was, I don't know if it was Kaylor and I think it was Kaylor and Nicole were up there because Nicole was telling Kaylor that she kissed Miguel. And then out of fucking nowhere comes Liv. What happened? What'd you do? What? Oh my God. Oh my God.
She is a pot stirrer.
It's like, don't tell anybody. I don't want to tell anybody. Like,
definitely.
She is in the middle of everybody's shit instead of focusing on her couple, whoever she's coupled with.
Yeah.
And then when she has those conversations, it's like she is so tuned out of those conversations. And like the guy will ask her something wanting to get to know her. And she's like, no, I don't really like that.
So I think like
it's cool.
Just speaking from like experience, I think that she is very like shy and closed off when it comes to forming a romantic relationship. And I think that's because she's young and maybe hasn't had a lot of romantic relationships. I don't know. But in my opinion, I think she just, it's much easier for her to be a friend with someone which says that she is like capable of forming that connection, but she is like closed off in a way that she feels like insecure about what she's talking about. And maybe she doesn't feel like she's intelligent enough or like something like that. But that's the vibe I get because she does end up being like everybody's best friend. And like everybody loves her as a friend. Which is
funny and weird because I think that when she came in, because she came in as a bombshell, right?
She was the first bombshell.
She was the first bombshell. And she came in and she stole Rob and did all that stuff. But yet all the girls are connected with her. Then you have Nicole and Andrea that came in, and Andrea came in and basically stole Rob. But I think it's so much later in the deal that they've all
they've already connected.
They've connected so much now that now Andrea, she's an outsider, and that's why they got rid of her. And it's like,
and Andrea made some backhanded.
But I don't even think they ever gave her a chance. But I think Andrea went in there knowing how to play the game, and she went in there and
they had. So the thing with the bombshells is that they get to watch.
Yeah.
But like the other people don't get to see all of that, so they're getting to see everything.
I mean, they can go into it with a game plan.
Yeah.
Know exactly how
to know who they're attracted to,
and know how to get.
And
people.
the later bombshells, like even in their intros,
I don't even know what it's going to.
They tell you what their game plan is.
Well, that's what they did with Andrea and Nicole. Like, I'm coming for Rob and Aaron, or I'm doing blah blah blah. Like,
also, this show just like making people walk in for the first time in like crazy lingerie and just start making out with somebody who's handcuffed is just like
that was wild.
Like it's so
dating is different.
Like when
days.
Miguel walked in, I was like, God, he just walks in and just starts going like making.
What did you say? You said that we're all trauma bonded over Love Island because it's so like insane. Like your brain can't even like comprehend it.
And
because
now that Tony's watching, it's like he gets to trauma bond with us.
Yes.
And we're like, come to the
But the whole world is trauma bonded over Love Island.
I'm very late to this party, but
I will die on the hill that I think that the producers wanted a villain and and Leah fit that role,
Well,
and they
she's the
portrayed
villain.
her in that role.
She's
Because I don't dislike Leah.
She's dead to me.
I follow her. I love you, Leah.
No, I will not follow you. Don't love you. Don't love you.
You will change
will
your
change
mind.
your
No,
mind.
You
I'm
will
not
change
going
your
to.
mind.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
She has burned me, and what she has,
But you're only getting to
the
see the parts
hypocrisy
that
of a
they allow
liar
you
calling
to
somebody
see.
a liar is unbelievable to me.
Here's you were going to change your mind
No.
right after Casa.
I don't even know what Casa is,
You'll see.
but
She, in my
is it like
opinion,
Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa?
she gets her feelings hurt and she spews venom, and I understand that, because sometimes like just saying all the thoughts that pop into your head is like
when
is cathartic, and it like helps you heal from whatever
she
just
immediately
happened.
started spiraling after Rob
She
was
does.
like, I don't know. And she's like, I'm spiraling. Am I spiraling? And they're like, yeah, you need to calm down. And he's like, a little bit. I'm like
She emotionally responds.
you.
and-
And then, I mean, she admits she's up. She's like, I don't know what the wrong with me.
but she's capable of
Like,
reflecting on the stuff that she did, and you see that later in the show.
Well-
for me, that's a win,
She's dead to me.
because people,
So
I
to
like
me,
to give people second chances.
I'm Team Rob. Team Rob.
Well, Rob is Team Leah.
Well,
just wait.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Thunder and Spark. We started filming before you sat down
welcome to After Sun.
because I wanted to catch all this Love Island talk.
Welcome to After Sun.
Yeah.
Do the voice.
Sorry, welcome to After Sun. Dude,
That was not it.
I don't know what it is.
Sorry, I got
I'd have to work on it.
It's some weird Scottish something. I don't know. We haven't watched any of the After Sun
Her
stuff. We're
voice
just trying to get through the episode.
pains Candy Thunder.
It pains me in the preview. Like she's like,
But she's, I mean, gorgeous woman. Like everything about her is amazing. It's just something like about the like
It's very
the
nasally
tone, the tone of
Very
her
nasally.
voice like
too
hurts
much.
my. It's like
don't-
nails on a chalkboard.
Also, I gotta give props to the narrator because he says some funny shit.
He's so funny.
sometimes. Like
The shit
it's so
gets wilder
random.
the more the show goes on.
Dad jokes, but every
Yeah.
once in a while you're like,
He's
damn.
like,
Yeah.
Kayla's very upset because I took Aaron up on that invite and he found us both in the shower. But an open invite's an open invite. Like,
So welcome to another edition of Thunder and Spark. We're actually, this is the second time we filmed this episode
What's the
because
Love Island noise thing? Welcome to Thunder and Spark.
yes, welcome to Thunder and Spark. This is the second time we filmed this because the last time we filmed these same topics and stories, not Love Island, but we
shook it
filmed
up a
these
little bit.
stories and topics previously, and then the Tech Gremlins ate the entire episode. So we're refilming here. What, week and a half, 2 weeks later? So we're, yeah,
All right, we're gonna
that's a good time.
kick it off with something different. Change it up from the last podcast. But will you click on the Nice Girls story?
Speaking
So
of
we're gonna
Love
start
Island,
here. Yeah, we're gonna start here.
So we've got something different for you. This is a story from Nice Girls that is titled, I Needed to Go Back to Work.
It's ironic.
And this is going to have
Subreddit.
like both points of view because they post like text messages.
Quick backstory. I was seeing this girl for a month or so. Things were going well, but it was hard to talk on the phone. We could be on the phone for literally 2.5 hours plus, and she'd always get upset when I wanted to get off to go to sleep. It made me feel odd. Then I had to go because I was running late from lunch. Forewarned her as I was driving back to the office, and then I got this because I didn't talk to her on the phone as I walked from my car to my office. I am generally very aware of my faults and people's feelings, but this one has blown me away. Wow, that's great.
Can I bring you lunch when it's not crappy out?
Of course.
We made it home safely.
Good. I was just about to text you to ask, LOL.
Sure you were. LOL.
I swear, because I was going to see if you wanted me to call you for a few since I'm about to take my lunch break shortly, LOL.
You don't have to call me on your lunch anymore. It's really okay. Okay.
I really don't understand why you keep saying that. If I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't call or answer or stay on the phone as long as I do.
You just seem very short with me, always seeming to want to get off the phone. That's why I say that. As long as you do, sorry, I won't keep you on the phone.
He said, as long as I do. Okay. And then she's like, oh, yeah.
See, this reminds me of Love Island when they will tell somebody, they'll be like, no, like I want you to go do what you want. And then they go do it. And like, why did you do that?
I don't think you understand. I've said it a lot and I'll keep saying it. I won't do anything I don't want to do. I'm telling you, I do want to be on the phone with you, but I also told you up front, It was going to be a quick lunch so I could get back to work and do what needs to be done so I can get out at a good time. I'm sorry if I made you feel that I'm being short with you. That's not my intention, but it's not that I didn't want to talk to you.
So when you pull into work, you say to me, okay, I'm pulling back in now, like prompting me to say, okay, I'll let you go. That's a normal prompt. Like that's a normal prompt.
Yeah.
I'll let you go instead of saying, hey, I have to go. What's that all about? You can't talk to me while you walk in, or is it that you would like to make another phone call? I feel like I'm begging someone to want to talk to me throughout their day. I don't need a phone call on lunch. It's totally okay. I'm not mad. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's not fine. Like you're clearly upset about something. And this to me screams like she's been hurt in the past. And so she's created this like,
Yikes.
Yes.
this situation in her head that doesn't exist. And she's self-sabotaging her own relationship.
So OP's response, what? I literally said I had to go, and then it's causing this because I didn't talk to you for an extra 1 minute that it takes for me to get from my car to the office? I'm not trying to discredit your feelings about it at all, but it really makes no sense to me. I'm happy if you call and only have a couple of minutes to talk. If you can't talk, then I understand, and I never get upset about it if you have to go. I'm going to be honest about my thoughts and feelings here. I feel like it's very hard for me to get off the phone at any time with you. Whether we're on the phone for a couple of hours or 5 minutes or in between, I really do enjoy talking to you, but it seems that whenever I say I want to go or need to go, that you get your feelings hurt. I try to talk to you as much as I can, but I also always think about the few minutes after the phone call and thinking that you're upset because of the way you sounded after I said I needed to go. I understand you're not used to my communication style, but I always pre-communicate things, such as earlier when I said, if he stops me, I might have to hop off for a few minutes and I'd call you right back. You automatically assume that it's me not wanting to talk to you, when in fact, it's just me telling you in case something happens. It's literally my communicating with you. I get you have had horrible experiences with communication in the past, but it seems that maybe I over-communicate for you, and that can cause issues too.
I think this is literally a text conversation between Rob and Leah.
I don't know what else I can do to show you that I'm trying.
Okay, turn my feelings into... Okay, now she's getting mad. Okay, turn my feelings into all about you and invalidate me. Thanks. So we're going to pause here for a second. Do you think that he invalidated her feelings?
I don't think so.
Not at all.
He's literally explaining everything and saying his entire point.
I think he's communicating
much
very
like
well.
Rob said to Leah. He's like, I understand that. And he is like, he's trying to explain why he's feeling this way. And he understands. He even said, like, I understand that you've had problems with communication. Like, he is accepting and understanding everything that she's saying. And she's just not listening to him.
I don't know what else I can do to show you that I'm trying.
Okay, turn my feelings into all about you and invalidate me. Thanks.
So I'm not allowed to ever express my feelings because you're expressing yours?
Thought we talked about your communication on the phone already about saying things that may happen, but you weren't listening. Not sure why it's being brought up again. Great timing. You're invalidating any time I have feelings. Thanks for showing me early.
Because it was bugging me. So when is a good time for me to bring up my feelings?
Well, so it's yours. Hence why I'm trying to get you to talk about it, but I'm being nothing but invalidated again. All about you still, ? Okay, all about you. I'll explain again like I did on the phone. Give me a minute to type it all out. And I'm going to show you. Well, it'll be up on the screen, but that's a lot of typing.
That's a lot of typing.
But at least she gave him...
You know what's funny? She pre-communicated that it was going to take her a minute to...
I will say that's kudos to that because, I mean, that's a nice pre-communicator. Just like she's got 1, he's got 10 in his column.
But that's the exact thing that she's bitching about.
This argument is like the hypocrisy in the argument.
Yeah.
Is wild.
Okay, I'm gonna get through this, and okay, it's a lot of
Candy
text.
Thunder's monologue starts in 3, 2.
When you said what you said about maybe having to hang up, it made me feel like you were already trying to get off the phone with me because you don't talk to me on your lunch until I mentioned it the other day at your house. That's the only reason I asked why you said it ahead of time. It made me feel a certain way, so I talked to you about it, and it was resolved. Not sure what more I can do to make you feel better about it. not even sure why you feel bad about it. That would be invalidating how he feels. If you're saying, I don't, like, you shouldn't feel bad about this.
There's a lot more invalidation coming from that than anything that he said.
What makes you feel bothered about me asking a question? Honestly, though, your comment about it's hard to get off the phone with me. I'm good. You don't need to call me. I'm asking for the bare minimum, a phone call. I don't think bare minimum is a phone call on somebody's lunch break.
When they're probably texting all day. They're probably talking
They
all
have
day
food
long.
in their mouth.
It's not even that, but like you're at work for 8 hours a day. That is a lot of stimulation, and you get your break in the middle of that. And in my opinion, that break is
You time.
You get to choose what you do with that, with your lunch break. Because sometimes, like when I worked my 8 to 5 job and I got my 1 hour, that was like my time. Like I enjoyed that time being away from the office so that I could go back and finish my next 4 hours. Okay. Honestly, though, your comment about it's hard to get off the phone with me. I'm good. You don't need to call me. I'm asking for bare minimum, a phone call, and it's too much. No worries. You don't have to feel bad anymore. I don't need a phone call. You can just text me whenever it's convenient for you. Sorry for wanting time with you.
So you're going to ignore when I literally said I really enjoy talking to you and that I want to talk to you whenever I can? I call you 2 to 3 times a day, and I do it because I want to. Because I'm thinking about you, because I've had that feeling for a few days now, and I brought it up to you just now. Maybe it was a bad time to bring it up, but I thought it was a good time because we were discussing it already. Please don't start with the, so sorry for wanting to spend time with you. You know damn well that I want time with you too. I really don't understand why you feel like I've invalidated your feelings. I'm trying to see what I could have said differently. I understand you're asking for the bare minimum, yet I feel like I'm giving you much more than the bare minimum. And if I'm truly not, I really don't know how I'll be able to satisfy your minimums because I'm trying so hard to go above and beyond your expectations.
Oh my God, here she goes. This is her vocab word of the day, I think.
That's invalidating. And you continue to defend how you're not making me feel invalidated instead of trying to talk to me and understand me, but you're too busy still making it all about yourself. And she copies like part of his text that she says, what I literally said I had to go, and it's causing this because I didn't talk to you for 1 extra minute. She says that's the part that was invalidating her. And if this is how you really feel, then why bother with me? You only want to see it from your action and thought process. I'm good. I don't need to explain my feelings. And I will say so sorry for wanting more time with you because you're once again making me feel like I'm an inconvenience because I like to talk to you. But again, invalidate that feeling also. Why wouldn't you? I'm being criticized for wanting time with you. Unbelievable.
But you can't say the same for you. You're only seeing it from your thought process. I'm bothering with you because I see other great qualities in you. And I had also told you that I communicate my feelings and I don't just give up on things if things are bugging me.
Which I think is great. Like he's saying, hey,
this guy's got some green flags, I feel like.
Yeah.
And she's got a lot of red flags. Right
he's
now.
saying, yeah, like something bothered me and I spoke up. And so that thing like did not fester. Like that's what, in my opinion, that's what he's trying to say to her and saying, hey, like this, I'm feeling odd about getting off the phone with you, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, no, you just try to shut my feelings down to make you feel better.
If that's how I've made you feel, I'm sorry. I was trying to communicate how I feel, but I'll wait for a different time to do so.
Wait, you already made it about your feelings. Mine don't matter.
But they do matter. Yours do matter to me.
I will not be discussing them. Me wanting to be on the phone is too much for you. I heard you loud and clear.
If that's what you gathered from what I said, then either I've grossly misspoken or you've completely misunderstood anything I've said or both, which is probable.
And that to me, like, one is why I chose this because it feels like he's like, this could be a me problem or it could be a you problem. But he's also like, I feel like we read a lot of stories where it's always a you problem and the person that is telling the story never like reflects on that.
I feel like he's genuinely trying to communicate. Like you said, like he's trying to not let this fester, and this could be building up and building up and building up till one day he blows up at her on the phone and be like, "Oh my God, I don't want to talk to you right now."
Well, look at it this way.
When he's like trying to say, "Hey, let's address this issue before it gets to be a big issue," and it's like
he's open-minded enough to say, "Look, this could be me, and if it is me, like I'm sorry, I'll try to wait for a better time." He's at least open-minded enough to see different possibilities here. And she is just like, nope, it's this.
He's like, it could be me. And if it is, I'm sorry. Oh, let's make it all about you. Like that's what she's doing.
I could be the problem.
Like,
of
that's
course,
what she's doing. Oh,
of course, it's all about you.
No, I can't. No, I can't be the problem. You're the problem. Okay, let's make it about you. Like that's what she's doing.
Okay, continue.
You've done nothing but bitch at me for wanting to be on the phone with you during your lunch. Did he? Did he bitch at her?
No.
He didn't bitch. She started the bitching, didn't she?
And then told me how downing it is on you to get off the phone with me because I like to talk to you and I make you feel bad every time. I literally feel like I'm being chastised for wanting to talk to you. Holy I didn't expect anything from you. I don't need your comments about satisfying me. I didn't think that was too much to ask. Sorry.
Again, maybe I've not explained it properly or you hadn't understand what I said, but that's not what I was saying, really. I can understand how that gets construed that way, so I apologize. I should probably have discussed that over the phone or in person.
You said exactly how you felt.
I think we just need to take a break for an hour or so we can both calm down. We're not going to get anywhere right this second. I don't like that you're painting me in this horrible light and a narcissistic person, but I also understand that you're feeling hurt right now. I am not that person. I think we both have a big misunderstanding here. If that's how you truly do feel about me and who I am and who I will turn out to be, just another narcissist asshole, then I feel it's best to just not continue, as much as that hurts me. Because I do really like you, Barb. I genuinely...
Barb? Okay, I didn't read that.
I genuinely thought I've shown you that for all this time, and apparently I haven't shown you enough. If you don't see me as that, I would like to continue with this. But I won't be painted as that whenever we come into a disagreement or our feelings are hurt, because I know how genuine I am and I don't deserve to be made out to be that. And I know how genuine you are and you don't deserve to feel that way about me either. It's up to you at this point. I'm genuinely sorry that I've made you...
My feelings again turn into your feelings of not continuing this. He literally said, I want to continue this. When we have talked about my feelings that I initially brought up, when you have answered my initial questions and thoughts, you haven't and still haven't. You made it all about you. Now I'm painting you to be a bad narcissist person. No, I'm telling you that you're invalidating my feelings by starting an argument and not talking about what I initially felt. You've turned this whole thing around how you felt and didn't take any of my feelings into thought. Instead, made fun of them for feeling that way. If you want to leave me, or if you want me to leave you alone for the hour that you need, then fine, I'll leave you alone. Let me know when you would like to discuss.
I'll call you when I leave work.
Okay. Now,
the question is, did he call? Bro.
He tells in the comments that they have been, they've been seeing each other for a month and they're both 38.
Wow. I thought this was a conversation between like 21, 22 years old.
I'm 31. She was 38. I'm sorry. There you go.
She was 38?
She's 38. He's 31.
Yikes. Red flag.
And so I feel like...
Red flag.
One, I know that we love when people get both sides of the story. And I found this and I thought this is like such a perfect example of like you saying... somebody saying something to you, but like, I guess the trauma that she experienced in previous relationships, like she was so hurt by previous relationships that she can only hear like what's going through her head.
He had to start smoking weed after this.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
It's like
this is not a healthy relationship. Run.
No, it's not. I don't think you could ever no one can make this woman happy until she understands how to make herself happy. Like that's my thing. Like you can't be happy in a relationship
emotionally, not just physically.
Yeah.
I feel like
I knew it. I was waiting for you guys. You both looked at each other and I was like, when's the shoe going to drop?
When's the on cloud going to drop?
Oh man.
I think this is a great example of someone's, she's got a Mayflower truck full of baggage, right? Like whenever she moves from relationship to relationship, semi shows up.
It's not even just a semi. It's like one of those FedEx trucks. Instead of just two.
3 trailers.
Yeah, it's got 3 trailers.
Just part. There's like, guy shows up, guy gets out, goes, where you want this?
Yeah.
Barb.
It's the semi centipede.
Barb.
Her baggage is interfering with her ability to have functional relationships. And until I legitimately think until she gets into therapy and can recognize this and start to control it, it is going to continue this cycle of destroying every relationship she has. She's trying to chokehold grip on these things so much because she's so afraid she's going to be abandoned that she's just squeezing the life out of it immediately.
Right.
I
agree.
No oxygen.
I mean, they talk on the phone 2 to 3 times a day already.
That's a lot. Sometimes we don't even talk on the phone 2 to 3 times a day.
That's so much.
Homeboy, if I were you, I would have chucked my phone out the window of my office building or blocked her immediately. I don't know how you got through all these messages and we're still responding with a cool head.
Well, that's the thing.
He really was.
They talk on the phone 2 to 3 times a day. You don't think she's texting him all day long? Every day, all day.
I don't think I could keep up with that kind of communication where somebody needs my attention all day long. I'm not a good texter. I'm not good at responding to messages. And so like this woman and I would not be compatible. I'll tell you that for free. Like that would be too much for me.
You've dated people like this before, right? That were this level of clingy?
Yes.
I have too.
Somebody told me they were going to light themselves on fire and stand in my front yard just to get my attention.
Yikes.
And we were seeing each other every day.
That's her next step.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's her next step.
And you know that she's texting him too and like texting him too and being like, he doesn't answer immediately. Like, oh, I guess you don't want to talk to me. Like, you know that message. How many times a day you think he gets that message when he doesn't respond to a text message?
Oh, wait. That guy that I was dating was less than a month. Less than a month into a relationship.
Less than a month and he was going to light himself on fire?
Yes.
Was it the toenail guy?
No. No, this was
hold up.
One of my relationships after
I know. I didn't know if there was an organic way to work the toenail guy.
When did that happen? Was that related to a story? Or when did Toenail Guy come up the last time?
It's part of a story.
Okay, we got to wait until that point to bring it back up.
We're going to just delve into my whole dating history
here. A little teaser about Toenail Guy.
Okay, so
anyway, dude needs to run. This is not a healthy relationship.
No, and all the comments said that too.
It's not going to get better.
But I honestly, I feel bad for this woman because relationships do not need to be that hard. Like, you quit assuming what people think. He's telling you what he thinks. And until you have a reason to believe otherwise, and I don't think you would get that reason within the month that you've been together.
That's
unless he's telling you otherwise, you need to believe what he says. If you can't believe what he says, then you need to walk away she needs to walk away from the relationship.
And what she's showing her is how are they going to work this out? How are they going to work out a problem? They can't communicate to work out that problem because he is trying to work out that problem. Like, he's trying to talk about it, and she's invalidating everything that he says by saying he's invalidating her. Like, it's just a circle. Like, they're never going to work out the problem.
Barb, I feel
until it's just going to be him being like, okay. Yeah. He's just going to say, okay.
I'd like to chase that for a second and play devil's advocate for just a moment. Number one, homeboy, if you're having to self-medicate 1 month into this relationship,
this is not the relationship.
Because of the way that
she's doing it for fun,
because of the problems that arise just from communicating,
not good.
Yeah, just bail. But Barb, Queen Barb,
what's that from?
It's the Trolls.
Oh yeah. There you go. The Rock World Train, Tour. Rock Queen. Yes.
Rock Train.
Rock Train. They live by rocks.
Barb. Here's the problem. The biggest problem for Barb is that things are not going to change because Barb cannot control feeling this way.
Right. No, I agree.
Barb feels how she feels and she cannot choose to feel differently. Like, there's going to have to be so much of her past unmade for this to start having a different ending. And right now she's repeating this cycle. And this is probably, you're like revisiting this traumatic relationship where she got cheated on or left or whatever, abandoned. It could be a parent's abandonment issue. Like, it could go back who knows where, but she keeps revisiting this and keeps trying to rewrite history with a different ending every time, but can't, is the compulsions to feel the way that she feels and express herself the way that she's expressing herself are unconscious. She's not consciously choosing to feel this way.
Right. I agree.
She just feels this way and can't control it. So it's easy for us to be like, Barb, trust him or don't.
That's why I feel sorry for her, because I know that she does not have control over feeling the way that she feels. Like, her mind, he's saying what he's saying, and when her mind processes what he's saying, it spits out something completely different into her brain. And so she believes what her brain is telling her instead of saying, wait. He's telling me this and I need to accept that. And her brain I'm going to use the word broken, is like there's something somewhere along the line changed how her brain processes that information from a romantic relationship. And so she's automatically like triggered at a level 8. And anytime he gets off the phone, it pushes her over the edge. And so it sends her into this spiral. And I'm like, I feel sorry for her.
They get off the phone and then they have text conversations like this.
That's
like
20 seconds after hanging up, it's text.
Fine. Well, I guess you didn't want to talk to me. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But while that's
sorry to bother you today.
Yeah. And I do feel sorry for her, but at the same time, you can't expect somebody else to, like, she can't expect this guy to handle that. Like, she can't.
And that's got to be
too much for a human being.
For him. Like,
but she doesn't understand that. She just knows that she feels like she feels. And right now, everything that he communicates, she hears, and that it is sent through this filter of
a filter.
Whatever
there you go.
trauma,
That's great.
whatever traumatic event, and that filter like translates it and twists it into like, oh no, he doesn't like you. He doesn't like to spend time with you.
I know.
He's
literally,
he's going to leave you. He's going to cheat. He's going to do all these things.
Saying.
That is literally Robin Lee.
But it's something.
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. He's sitting there having this conversation. She's saying that my feelings don't matter. And he's like, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, you just said this. Like, I did not just say that. And then he got,
but she
hears it. And it, like you said, it filters and it translates into, nope, this is what she heard.
And that's why I think people fell in love with Leah so much, is because we all have trauma. So our filters are all different. And that goes back to having different opinions that are shaped by that. She can't be dead to you. It's not over yet.
She's dead to me.
And I think that's why people love her so much, is because we've all been there. We've all overreacted to a situation. We've all made an ass of ourselves. We've all had shitty experiences where we over the top, like we went over the top. We should not have said that. We should have not have done that. And
speak for yourselves.
Listen, there comes a time where Leah sees her actions and she understands how severe they were. But
I haven't made that far yet.
I think that's why people love her, because we all are that person. We all have our own trauma. And I love that you said filter, because I think that's perfect. Like, we all see things through the trauma that has been brought into our lives, like everything that's affected us to this point. Like, our brain has a filter, and that's how we process the information. So we're all like, and I love that, like, you can be the villain in somebody's story, because like we're all processing stuff different. So while you think you may not have done anything wrong, that person that received your information processed it completely different than how you said it and how you felt it. And so I think our filters are the things that are never going to change, but we have to learn how to adapt with them so that we don't process everything as a negative.
Yeah. And I think the most important the most important part of that process is recognizing that the filter is there in the first place.
Exactly.
If she can get to a place where she says, where she can start questioning her feelings, she's going to feel them no matter what. But to question them and say, is this a result of my past, or is this what is actually happening in the present? I think,
question the voice inside your head, because it's not always the truth. It's not always telling you the truth. And I think that is such a big thing in my life that brought me so much help and like helped me move forward into, I feel like, a more emotionally mature, like from my 20s to my 30s. That is the biggest thing that changed for me personally.
Yeah. And I think that's probably an overarching theme for everybody in the process of growing up. Is when you get to a place where you can start questioning yourself and questioning your feelings and really trying to understand yourself better. That's growing up.
And I did.
Anyway, we took this in a very different direction than the funny way it was intended.
No, I meant it as a conversational piece, and I said this on the last podcast, but like, and this was about like putting yourself out there on the internet, but like the self-reflection to not get pissed at every comment that comes your way, and I said that was something that I have learned from Dusty in this, like, you don't have to respond negatively to every time that you get criticism. Like, not everything has to be bad. Sometimes people are just shitty, and then you should respond accordingly. And I will advocate for that day and night. But I think there's a moment where you have to self-reflect and be like, hey, should I respond to this in this way, or should I see what they're saying, take their opinion into consideration, and then respond? And for me, that has been one of the biggest things about putting myself out there on the internet and saying, can I learn from this? Or am I just going to remain the same and not take this into consideration? And so for me, like, and I attribute that to you, because that's how you led at the beginning of this. You're like, you can't let it bother you. here's what I do with that information. And so I think like one of the biggest things that I've learned from this, and I did learn it from you, was self-reflection. And so like for me, that was the growth that I've experienced in this.
Well, I think that's
put on the sunglasses and be like, I can't see the haters.
I think it is, for me, it was all about like I want to grow and I want to improve. And I'm not going to do that knowing only what I know and only accepting validation. Right. I have to be at least open to hear everything. And of course, like you said, there's always going to be the shit stirrer that just wants to come take a dump on you because they're unhappy in their life. Yeah. And understanding that those people are there and being able to see it when it's happening and be like, okay, yeah, you hate your life. I understand.
And like you've called somebody out on a live and been like, yeah, we're not going to do that here.
Yeah.
Or that's completely inaccurate. Like mods take care of that.
Yeah.
Bring on the haters. I say all the time, like whenever comments are deleted or trolls or blocked or whatever, I'm always like, oh, I was like, I kind of wanted to fuck them for a little bit.
I can't.
Like I'm always like, I wanted to go back and forth. Like I wanted to be like, bring it on, let's go.
No, I can't. That hangs with me.
So
like
if you guys want to be haters in the comments, I'm coming at you in this one. So
actually, that could be your content angle.
I'll be like the Wendy's of TikTok.
Like bring on the haters.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Bring on the, okay. So that's Tony Sparks' new content.
I say that and then there's going to be too many haters and then I'm just going to have a mental breakdown and go full Britney Spears and start doing swords and shaving my head and shit. I don't know. I mean, whatever gets the views.
Oh, God.
Are we ready to dive into a story?
Yes.
Okay, fair warning. For the first time ever, we all have read this story before, but it's because we read it in the last recording session that got deleted
a couple times.
So let's dive in. This is a story from Am I the Asshole? And it's titled, Am I the Astronaut for Planting a Mushroom in My Roommate's Dirty Dishes?
I might have forgotten what happened here, though.
I remember. I, 25 male, have a roommate, Jake, 26 male, who has a serious issue with leaving dirty dishes in the sink. We've had several discussions about this, but nothing changes. The mess was getting out of hand, and it was really starting to affect my mental state. Last week, I decided to take a more extreme approach to make my point. I found a mushroom growing outside and decided to plant it in one of the dishes that had been in the sink for a couple of weeks. That's right, weeks.
Ew.
I thought maybe seeing actual fungus growing in his dishes would make him realize how bad things have gotten. I didn't mean to cause any drama, but Jake's girlfriend ended up finding the dish first. She was horrified, and the situation led to a big argument between them. Apparently, this incident made her realize how much of a slob Jake is, and it ended being a breaking point for their relationship.
Why is there Schmidt and Nick?
Now Jake is furious with me, blaming me for his breakup and calling me a jerk for creating such a situation. I really didn't intend for things to escalate like this, but at the same time, his habits are disgusting and need to change regardless of whether his dishes are fertile ground for portobellos. I felt bad about it, so I texted his girlfriend to explain that it was just a joke, but she's had it with him and seems to be done whether it was real or not. I'm worried that this is going to ruin my friendship with Jake, but at the same time, don't really feel it's all on me. Our friends seem to be siding with him so far. Asshole or not.
Why would the friend side with him, I wonder?
I don't know.
Like, I don't.
Is it just kind of like they've accepted the fact that the guy is kind of gross and they're just like, meh, that's just him.
I feel like if you have a roommate, leaving your dishes in the sink for weeks on end is completely unacceptable.
Yeah. And that's why your friends don't get a vote. They're siding with him because they don't understand, because they didn't have to live with him. They see him periodically and they witness his sloppiness, but their life isn't negatively affected by it like yours is. You have to live with it. And she was gonna have to live with it, so she's like, nah.
I can't do it. And I think that's a reasonable reason for breaking up with someone.
Obviously she was having thoughts that he's disgusting.
Right.
Because I really don't think a mushroom, like, you're not going to break up just from that. Like,
no, that was her tipping point.
Like, that was like that was the light bulb. She's like, oh, this guy is gross.
That was the last spore.
Yeah. That was the last crusty toenail.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Is this where we got
to crusty toenail? People being gross. So.
I broke up with someone for being gross. So when I was younger, it was actually one of like my first like serious boyfriends. So I was in high school and I dated this guy and
His name Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
He had my sister knew him and she was like, okay, yeah, he's a really nice guy, but he has this like gross feature. His toenails are nasty. And I'm like, and I don't like feet. So I'm like, well, like I don't have to see him. I don't have to look at him. It'll be fine. I feel like she played it at the right level, but like I downplayed it in my head. But then like when I saw him for the first time, like when he brought his dogs out in summer, his toenails were yellow.
He brought his dogs out.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, just don't look at him. Don't look directly at him. So like we were together, we broke up.
Don't look at it.
And then like we kind of talked about getting back together, like started talking again. And we were sitting on the couch and I don't remember what happened, but his toenail, like, which were kind of like long and like not pointy, but kind of pointy. Like it caught on my foot and it cut my foot. And I still have a scar to this day because it got
sliced open by a toenail.
It got infected. And like, I'm talking like yellow drainage, like nasty infection on my toe.
Disgusting.
Or on my foot. It happened. It's right here. The scar is right there. It's down on my shoe this time because I was wearing sandals last podcast. But yeah, so you can't. So it's like the shape of a toenail. It's like this, like a half moon kind of thing. But he apologized, obviously, like, cause it like bled and like was like really gross. But I was so like, it was the ick for me. Like that was the moment where I was like, I can't do that. It's gross. Like, and it like my sock, I had to go to cheer camp the next week and like my sock stuck to it. Like, and it was like draining in my sock and like, it was so gross. Like a very infected thing. Like probably should have had an antibiotic, but I was so embarrassed the fact that somebody's toenail cut my foot open.
So you broke things off with him after that?
I just didn't like respond. I didn't respond.
Ghosted him.
Yeah.
How did he handle that? Did he take it pretty well, or was he a pussy?
No, I think he was fine with it. I don't think there was any weirdness after that. I don't remember. I don't know if I ever saw him again.
From the toe, or did it get infected?
His toenails were yellow, so I don't know if he had like a fungus going on.
Is that what caused the infection, or did it just like get dirty and like get?
Maybe it was my foot that was dirty. Did you not
clean it out?
No, I peroxided it, and I remember peroxiding it, and it would like bubble up, and I would just hold my foot here like that, and just like keep doing it, trying to clean it out. And my mom's a nurse, so I'm sure I showed it to her at some point.
Was this guy trying to transport the ring to Mordor? Like what? He had all of his toes dipped in toxin so he could like defeat his enemies, like he was like Frodo's sword. Like
yeah, I don't know.
Blade's called Sting. You've seen this blade before.
The arrows that they dip in the
everything in toxins. He's lethal.
It'd be worse if like he had socks on and then it like cut you through the sock.
Right.
I feel like they're that bad.
No, it was summertime.
Is it like fucking Wolverine?
If he cut 5 little slits in the end of his socks so his gangly toenails could be like poked out through the sock. Yeah.
I mean, is it just, it's like Wolverine. You just like.
Yeah. No, what we said last time was Edward Scissorfeet.
Edward Scissorfeet. Well, I actually found out like years later that Edward Scissorfeet told people that the reason that we didn't get back together was because I was a prude and wouldn't do anything with him.
No, your toenails cut me open and made me bleed.
No, I was 15.
No.
Like, no.
The issue was not that I was a prude. The issue was that you need pruned. Yeah,
but I remembered, like, I was waiting tables at Outback and somebody came in and they're like, is your name this? And I was like, yeah. And like, so like I had conversations with them. I was working in the bar at the time and like, so like talking to them and like they were like, oh yeah, he dumped you because you were a prude, which I'm like, one is like completely inappropriate to come in to my section and sit there and be like, and then call me a prude. I'm like, I'm like, we're not together because he cut me with his toenail and oozed pus into my sock. Like, I feel like that's a more reasonable explanation of why we're not. So I just really wonder if this guy still has nasty feet.
Probably because he's in denial about it.
Or is he married? I have no idea. Like, I don't keep up with him, but.
Or is he married? What do you mean?
Is he married and his wife like just deals with his nasty feet?
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Doesn't mean that he fixed it.
He's the founder of like feetfinder.com.
And then he's
the founder of the feet pics movement.
His feet tried to impregnate your feet. That's what happened.
He's like,
and my body was like, no, reject.
Yikes.
And it pushed it out. Yeah.
My
anyway,
goodness.
So it healed, but it really is like a half moon shaped scar. And obviously it's like it's faded with time, but yeah, it's still there. Something to remember my first boyfriend by. Yeah,
and this is why, like, if I'm running a little behind on clipping my toenails in bed and my toenail happens to poke her a little bit, she damn near jumps out of the bed.
Okay, Edward says
I freak out.
It's like a jump scare. Like, she's like, what was that? I pulled a knife on you in bed.
Maybe I've got my timelines wrong. Maybe I hate feet because this guy cut me with this
That might be
nasty
true.
toenail.
Maybe that's probably where it started from.
But I remember seeing him. Okay, so we dated for like the first time in October or something like that. And like dated for a couple months and then broke off. And then it was like coming back to summer. Like school had just gotten out, so it must have been May, June. But yeah, and he like had switched to flip flops. And I was like,
you're like, maybe go back.
They were like the color of your shirt, probably a little more yellow. I can picture them in my mind.
Well, you had to wear flip flops because he ruined all of his other shoes, right?
Poking holes in them.
Yes,
that's true.
Hey, what was his name? Talon?
No, I won't say his name. I'll keep his identity a secret.
Also,
but we'll call him Talon.
I need some comment help with this one because, like, what would the foot version of Wolverine be? We need to know. Like, I can't think of a good punny one that makes sense, but I need your help. I know you guys.
Edward Scissorfeet.
Edward Scissorfeet is good, but we need like a Wolverine foot version.
But like his toenails were so sharp that it like for them to leave the whole shape.
It's not just like it cut you, like it was in the shape of the toe. So
like his toenail went
like
into my foot.
It's just like a one stabby motion. I don't know. Like it was sharp enough that you just like poked.
My stomach just growled for the whole length of that laugh. It was like
this guy's out there with like either a grinder or a whetstone, like sharpening that shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, for it to be the shit, like I got under, like I mean, I would have thought it just like would like it's like slice along, not leave the.
Yeah.
I have to look now.
Yeah, and I bet when he got home from this incident, his mother was like, "Rob, you've ruined your sword," and then he had to sharpen it again. You know what I mean? You got to prepare him for battle.
I can't remember where it's at.
Yeah.
I showed it to you last time.
All relationships leave scars.
This one is an actual scar on my foot.
Literally.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was weird. I just remember the cheer camp thing because like we had to wear a certain sock for cheerleading, so it had to like it came up
like
over
yellowy pus just.
And it was well, I'm sure like me having to like run around all day, be on my feet for 12 plus hours, like didn't help the healing process of.
Yeah.
But it was infected when I went to cheer camp, and it was like coming through. Like I was wearing Band-Aids, and then like my mom was like, well, let it breathe and stop wearing the Band-Aids. And so, but I remember I had to take like ointment and stuff with me to cheer camp to keep it on there.
Maybe he didn't say that you were a prude. Maybe what he actually said to his friends was I tried to nail her. And she said no. She ghosted me after that.
I don't think any more needs to be said.
Yeah.
That's good.
That was epic.
Great.
All right, let's read another story. You want to do that?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Wait, so what do we think about the mushroom thing? Where's the...
No,
I think
he's NTA.
I think
NTA.
NTA.
I do too. I think it's just like trying to prove a point.
If you're going to leave dirty dishes in the sink for 2 weeks,
that's a long
weeks,
time.
Yeah.
That's a long time to leave dishes in the sink.
Well, in a person who is comfortable doing that is a person who is traditionally avoidant of accountability, period, right? Because I mean, not washing your dishes, not having dishes, there's accountability, but there's a responsibility.
Yeah, and he's
that.
just like, oh, he's probably thinking like, oh, somebody else, he'll do them.
Exactly. So this guy doesn't know how to be accountable for his own actions or inactions anyway. So him automatically diverting the blame for this to someone else is just typical, right? I'm not surprised by this at all. That's a lifelong problem for him. You were just the latest victim.
Yep.
So that sucks. But eventually he's going to have to change or not. And he'll just, keep building up piles and growing fungus.
This is why I feel like work very hard to make sure that our kids participate in
cleaning
household chores because and it's not just to like help us out, but also so they know how to do them when they leave the nest, because I think
just not knowing how to do it is like one of the biggest preventers of like he may not know how to do dishes because mommy never taught him.
That's this movement, like that's parentification bothers me because I'm like, I feel like that's just preparing your child for the world, which is what your literal job is as a parent. And it's like you have to. I feel like they need to do housework. They need to cook. They need to know how to do all of these things. Even watching a younger sibling is helpful because it teaches you to care for another human being, like, and to show up for someone.
There's a tipping point. There's too far.
100%. Like, I don't like watching them every day is way too much. Being responsible financially for your family, way too much. But having an occasional chore and like being responsible for your younger sibling every once in a while, I feel like is healthy, and making sure that somebody grows up knowing how to participate in society,
especially if they're getting paid for it too. Like
we pay for,
we pay our kids to do
chores and watch Navy, if we need it. Yeah,
but there's a way to accomplish it as a lesson without we're not using it to ease a burden on ourselves.
Correct.
I mean, every once in a blue moon, Ava will watch Navy for a little bit when we're in a time bind for half an hour and need her to cover the gap there, but she's perfectly willing to do it. We also will pay her to do that. So
we do. She wants to earn money to have money to do things, and
knowing how to do shit is important, because if not, they get out there and they turn into fungus guy.
You get mushrooms growing on plates.
Yeah, or they don't know how to do laundry, and then they just put all that onto someone else, and then they end up in a relationship just because they need somebody to take care of them. And it's a mess.
Yeah.
Just out. All right, here is our next story. This one is from AITA and is titled, "Am I the Astronaut for Not Sharing My Snacks with My Pregnant Wife?"
Yeah.
Me and my wife dated for 2 years, married for 2 years. My wife is 28 weeks pregnant with our first child. Every week or so, I always purchase one of those huge variety packs of chips from the store. I do this so I can have something to snack on because I get hungry every couple of hours or so. And if I don't eat, I get a raging stomachache. I make it clear that these are my snacks. I would be very upset if I went to get a bag of chips and they were all gone. I blasted through my last variety pack of chips and ate 2 or 3 a day, so there were only 4 chip bags left. I was taking an afternoon nap when my wife woke me and said that she was hungry and sore. I told her to go eat then. I was sleeping. First red flag. She said she didn't have the energy to cook anything, and she asked if she could have one of my chip bags because that was what she was craving right now. I considered it, but said no.
Second red flag.
She asked again because she was really craving it, and she looked like she was about to cry. I told her that those chip bags are important to my daily functioning, and if I don't get a snack, I'll have a bad stomachache. She said she'd only take one, but I said no to find something else. She started crying and said she was really craving those chips. I told her to go to the store and get a variety pack for herself then. She got angry and said that she was too sore and said I was being inconsiderate towards her and our unborn child, and then said I should go to the store and get some more for her. I told her that just because she's pregnant, that doesn't mean I'm going to cater to her. Her cravings are not my problem. And again, to go out and get them herself or find something else in the pantry because I was taking a nap. She stormed off crying and I haven't seen her since. Now I'm feeling a bit guilty about it. Am I the astronaut?
Hear me out. Hear me out. You might be getting a bad stomachache because you're eating 3 bags of chips a day.
Also,
like, I feel like
this is also a guy who didn't have to do chores when he's growing up. I don't. This guy has been babied his entire life.
I just polished off 3 bags of chips, and now I'm taking my afternoon nap.
Brother, your wife is pregnant and wants one of your bags of chips that you have multiple left over. You can wake up from your little nap. You can eat a bag of chips so your tummy doesn't hurt. Then you go to the store and you buy more chips, you jabroni.
I would do this for someone I didn't even know. If someone was pregnant, someone wanted my last bag of chips, I'm like, yeah, take them. I'll get more. Like, no big deal. I don't care.
Not even the last bag, though.
No, he had 4 bags left. And he's like,
well,
I considered it, but said no.
I considered it, but and then I was like, well, I'm going to wake up for my nap and I'm going to eat my after nap snack and then I'm going to eat those. And like, I might need another one. And then there's only going to be like 1 left. And that might not get me to the store before I have to go get some more. So like, no, she can't have them, bro.
Like, hear me out.
This guy sucks.
Cheese sticks, yogurt, Greek yogurt, lots of protein.
A granola bar, anything.
Yeah. Belvita bars.
Apple.
Like something.
Dude,
eating a variety bag of chips a week is like, it's gross.
It would be bad enough if it was just your wife, but it's your pregnant wife. You should be like, yes, what can I go get for you? What do you need?
I want to take care. I'm like, I would go over the top taking care of somebody who was pregnant if they lived in my house.
Me too.
You did. You catered to my every need. You spoiled the shit out of me.
And now I'm an asshole.
Well, I mean, you were still like an asshole while you did it. You were just...
I'm a nice asshole.
You were a catering asshole.
You were a nice asshole.
What bugs me the worst about this is that if this is the way he feels about his wife, let alone pregnant wife,
Yeah.
he's going to feel this way about his kid too.
What happens when his kid wants a bag of chips?
You don't get to be this level of selfish as a parent. As a non-parent, yeah, you can live your selfish life. And
like, imagine that kid just coming and taking something off of his plate one day.
Yeah. I mean,
Joey doesn't share.
As a married person, you don't really get to live this selfish of a lifestyle, not in a functional relationship. But for damn sure, as a parent, you don't get to live a completely selfish life. And he's going to have to.
Why is he treating his chips like they're his pride and joy?
It's chips. Go buy. And why are you, if you know you go through them, why you have a pile of them?
Like 4 boxes.
Yeah, because it's like
if they can afford to
if
go
I
to the
buy
store.
4 ahead of time, then they aren't as fresh when I open them because they do expire.
That sounds like a Candy Thunder Diet Coke
say,
method. I'll be honest. That
sounds like the Diet Coke.
I was gonna
issue.
say it sounds like Diet Coke issue, which
And one time I opened up a bag of chips that was stale, and like my world fell apart.
And then like we only had like 2 left,
couldn't.
and so like I didn't have time to get to the store and get some more before I ran out.
My nap was only an hour and a half instead of 3 hours.
But would have been
a bad day.
His response is like, go to the store and get some, and like while you're out, will you go ahead and get me another box, please? Thank you.
Why?
This guy sucks.
I mean, in our house, like we don't share finance. I mean, we share finances and we share food. Like all the things in our house are up for grabs. It's like first come, first serve. If you don't want something,
Unless
you hide
Ava
it.
puts her name on it.
You don't want something. She doesn't even purchase it.
Unless it is the last Diet Coke in the fridge.
Then we throw hands.
Then no. So there's nothing preventing you from taking it. There's just going to be hell to pay.
There's going to be consequences.
But let me clarify. Most of the time, there's not going to be hell for you to pay. If somebody takes the last Diet Coke, there's going to be hell for me to pay. I'm going to be the one who hears about it. So just don't.
No, Ava did it, and I was like,
no, if it's Ava, yeah, you'll call her out.
I'm like, here's what we don't do
to live
with the Diet Coke rules. Now that you're drinking it, here's what we do, and here's what we don't do.
Dude.
Nice sidestep on the duties comment.
We didn't sidestep shit.
I heard it. Funny. But I'm not gonna get raging pissed because somebody drank my. I mean, I might, but I might internally like explode. But
like your cans of Diet Coke in the freezer.
I wouldn't like
you
freak
wouldn't
the
deny your
out.
Pregnant husband a Diet Coke if that's what he needed to survive, right?
No, if I feel like if guys were the ones that were pregnant, me, like I would coddle the shit out of you. Like I'm like that's when I like thrive. I like
something to tell you.
I like you're not pregnant.
I think I might be.
I like to take care of people, and I like to like help people. Like when you're sick, and I'm like, here's what we're gonna do. Here's the game plan. Here's the medicine.
I'm really craving steak and head rubs.
We'll see. I'll cook the steak. You can rub your head.
Oh, neither one of these things sound right. Neither one.
It's because you're the steak cooker and I'm the head rubber. Stop it. Head.
Anyway, OP.
For those that are listening and not watching, she pointed to the actual top of his head.
Yes.
Get there faster, Tony. The actual top of his
mushroom.
Oh my!
That was in reference to the last story.
That's right.
Yeah,
on the plate.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, OP, you're gonna have a really hard time.
OP, you suck.
Yeah,
you're terrible. You're a terrible human being. You're an ASCON 1. Wake up from your little nap and go buy some bags of chips.
He doesn't even have to go buy any.
You don't even have to go buy. That is
Just
true.
eat one
you
of
don't
his.
even have to go buy it. You have 4 bags of chips. Like, finish your nap. Say, take it. Think you're upset because she woke you up from your nap? Boo. Who? Like, give her the bag of chips.
I mean,
take your nap. Wake up. Go to the store. Ask your wife what kind of chips she would like for you to get while you're at the store getting the chips that you want, and then get her those chips and stop being a big old baby back bitch.
Baby back bitch.
Tony,
I mean, I'm not married.
I was gonna say you're not married, but
I don't have a pregnant wife. I don't have any, like, none of that, but I'm not this stupid.
The day that I remember when I tried to give up drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah.
You went to the store.
That was the longest 33 minutes of my life.
He went to the store and he's like, what do you need? A bottle, a can, a fountain drink?
She goes, I'm done drinking Diet Coke. And then immediately things were not great. And then, like, I don't know, like the third time she put her head.
2 p.m.
The third time she put her head down on her desk and I was going to the store and I'm like, what do you want a can, bottle, soda? And she goes, all three. I was like, you want a can, a bottle, or a fountain drink? She goes, all three.
It's because she doesn't know which one's going to taste
Or no,
good.
I said yes. Like that was the saddest yes I've ever heard.
I'm like, she's like, I'm off the Diet Coke. And I was like, okay.
I'm off the drugs.
She's like, I'm off the Diet Coke. Literally 2 hours later, she's what I would imagine full blown withdrawals going through over there, and just in a bad way. And
it's longer than that.
2.5 hours. And like it was immediate. Like I was going to start like, yes. It was the saddest yes I've ever heard.
And then I said all three. You brought me back 2 bottles and a fountain drink, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
Let's put a filter on this. The same filter we used on the Nice Girls story. Okay. OP is living this life for a reason. He's got this routine of his 2 to 3 chip bags per day and his afternoon nap. So either it is because he lived this extremely coddled life and mama let him do that every day, even through college, when, until he started living with his wife or girlfriend or whatever she was at the time. Either he was extremely coddled or he lived in a household where like he had to protect his own. That doesn't explain the afternoon nap thing, but behaviorally, he's living this life out of routine for a reason, and he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong. Like he feels the way he feels. He's not seeing the whole, I need to be caring for my wife and my unborn child, which by the way, it's your child inside of her. Of course, she's craving chips.
That is true too.
Full circle.
There's a little chip monster in there.
Don't you want to share your chips with your kid? It's your kid that's having the craving here. So like he's not able to see that though. And there's a reason he's not able to see that. And that's what concerns me the most, is that this is not a choice. This is an inability to be able to form this connection, to be able to see, to be able to relate to and be a parent to his child, to be relate to and be a husband to his wife. I don't know how the got to this point. Like how did he woo this woman and convince her to marry him? Like,
I don't know.
But he said
maybe he did share a bag of chips with her once, and that's how he won her over. And she knew that. She's like, wow, he shared a bag of chips with me. It's a pretty big deal. And then he got her, he hooked her, and he's like, get your hands off my chips, bitch.
That was his dating profile headline was, I'm all that in a bag of chips. That's what did it. That sealed the deal.
So I think
she's like, oh my God, he's funny.
I'm leaning more towards a coddled thing, because he said that I'm not responsible for your cravings. You need to handle them yourself. You need to go to the store yourself.
You are responsible for the cravings because you put the baby inside of her.
Yeah.
You are responsible.
Or that was a line that he had heard before. Like, imagine if his parent had told him that I'm not responsible for your cravings. You take care of your own shit. That could get to the same place.
I don't know. I think this guy's just.
But if that made, like, his mom was a do it all herself person and was like, and made him realize that, or made him believe that you don't have to be nice to your partner because the woman should do everything by herself and doesn't need help. And so that's what he's been raised. So it's like the core beliefs colliding.
Correct. Yeah. And so whatever it was, his core beliefs are what got him to the point where he's at today. And they're influencing his behavior. It's going to be problematic unless he is somehow able to self-reflect and to say, this isn't going to lead to the future that I want for myself. How do I change things?
Right. Was saying no to her having 1 bag of chips really worth all the pain that it's going to cause? Yeah. Because like in this moment, like if you were asleep, like I would have just eaten the chips and then been like, hey, we need to go to the store.
For forgiveness than permission.
No, not even that. I'm just like, I wouldn't have woken him up to ask for a bag of chips. I would have just ate a bag of chips.
Okay, but why did she wake him up? Because maybe she's done that before. Maybe she's eaten a bag of chips before, and there's been a wrath afterwards.
Well, she knows how important they are to him, which is why she woke him up to ask first. But yeah, you're right. You would have just waited until I stumbled up from my nap, and you would have been like, I'm sorry, Lieutenant Dan, I ate your bag of chips, but you still have 3 left.
And then I'd be like, let's go to the store and get some more. I'm feeling better after my bag of chips.
Yeah.
Let's go together and hold hands in the
But instead, we got this guy.
That's legitimately how I feel.
Ask on one.
Also,
I don't like to grocery shop by myself.
Bro,
well, that's because if your car doesn't work and you're going to get sweaty, you need a backup card.
No, I have a Walmart Pay.
Also, Brojoni,
Because I forgot my card.
just start an Amazon subscription or like start a subscription for your chips.
Yeah, there you go.
And then they automatically show up, and
Just
then
a
you don't
box
even
a
have to
day.
dig with it. If you know that you are
Keeps the
going to
arguments
go
away.
if you, what kind of box are we talking about? If you go through it at a steady, repeatable rate, then just start a subscription. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
I mean, also though, I think he needs to address the fact that he's eating that many chips in a day.
I think we need to encourage OP to learn about other snacks.
Like an apple or
Like
a banana
chips
or
will-
a granola bar, Belvita bar.
But
You're
I
getting
really like
stomach
chips.
aches from being hungry all the time. Like chips go like that. Like your body just bloop, burns right through it. There's nothing there to sustain you. So have a different snack that actually sustains your body, and then maybe you won't get the raging tummy ache from the
And then
plethora
you won't
of
be a
chips that
raging
you're
asshole
consuming.
as well.
right.
Yeah.
Boo. Also, I mean, if you have just like a real thing about chips, which I like chips, I get it.
Who doesn't?
They have apple chips. They
Veggie
have
chips.
They have the like rice cake caramel cinnamon chips. They have like all kinds of chips. You can stick with your chip preference and still go in an explorative direction.
Or have chips and cheese, or like
Chips and queso.
Yeah.
put your chips
Chips
on a
and salsa.
sandwich. But like, is he
Shake
just
it up a
eating
little bit.
4 bags of chips a day, or 2 to 3 bags, or whatever it was?
Yeah, what else is he eating?
Like, how are you getting a raging stomach ache? Maybe you should address the fact of why you're getting the stomach ache.
Maybe you should
and I think
have
you might
more-
find.
Your meals should be better, and then you won't have raging stomach aches.
Yes.
I don't know.
Let us start you off with a diet plan, and then
I
we'll
don't
go
know,
from
this
there.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
If you're-
now, the diet of chips and salty asshole are.
That's what I was
not
going to
not
say.
working
I was like,
out.
I feel like your diet of chips is also turning you into an asshole.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's chips and dick. It's turning him in. Yeah. Okay.
dicks and chips.
Dicks and chips.
That's all
I was trying chips and dip and chips and salsa with salty asshole. You know what I mean? That's where I was going with it.
I mean, chips are
actually
salty.
I liked the chips and salty assholes.
We need a Chip and
Dip.
Dale version of it here. But what would Dale be for for him being an idiot?
I thought so. You're talking about like chip
Not
and dip.
strippers.
Okay, I was like,
But nice
well,
to
we were
know
talking
that
about
that's the
salty.
first place your
No, we
your
were talking
brain
about
went.
salty assholes, and then you're like chips and or whatever.
If we ever go to Vegas, I'm gonna take you to a Chip and
Down
Dale's
Under.
show.
Take her to Thunder Down
And
Under.
there's going to be some dude up there tap dancing with only his toenails, and she's going to be like, "Oh my god, it's him!"
Like I always wondered when he ended up where he ended up.
It sounds like Oliver running across the house every time he walks
Oh,
through.
God.
Tippity tappity tippity tappity tippity tappity
Oh
tippity.
no!
Oh, yikes!
And they're
Don't turn
just
your back.
flashing. Those toenails
Don't
are
turn
just
your back.
flashing through my brain.
Clickety clack.
She's getting a phantom pain in her
I'm getting
ankle.
tingly sensation in my
Ankle.
my foot.
Finish that statement.
No. You get out the freaking dog nail grinders, and you're like, "Just come here." Just
the mask that like the what is that when you pull it the
Welding, like
the welding mask. Thank you. I was like, the word was there, but I couldn't bring it forward in my brain.
Yikes!
The finest blacksmiths in King's Landing couldn't handle these. School has started.
Yeah, we're-
Whoop-de-doop-de-doo.
And I think during the summer, it's like you easily forget how busy like the rest of the year is, because I feel like there's a way less pressure in the summertime.
But the summer feels busy too. So then whenever school starts back up, especially if you have 5 kids, 4 of which are in school, you're like, oh, fuck.
Well, I feel like summer
I
for you
forgot.
guys.
And that's how
is-
15 years
Summer
go
for
by.
you guys has like that 2 or 3 week period when everybody's in camps and shit that gets a little wild too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that kind of ramps up back to school. But
Tony's summer is spent at the lake. And then
my summer is over.
so
and
blue.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, 'cause now you're going to start golfing.
It's not the same.
Well,
I feel
obviously it's
like-
not the same as being on the lake.
And then like
and it's football season.
I know.
It's football.
I know.
I'm really
know that.
excited for Thursday.
Hell yeah.
And I know
6
that.
days
And I know that. But
to watch it from home. Not at the game with you guys.
I know that football is here and that's great. And like I love a hoodie and a pot of chili as much as the next guy. But
Bag of
like,
chips.
I just love my summer so much, and I love the lake, and it's all over. And especially it's like insult to injury that it's over, and it's the last weekend of summer, and the weather is going to be shitty this weekend.
Yeah, but next weekend's supposed to be really nice.
Yeah, but that means nothing to me. It's over. It's done.
Is it still supposed to rain this weekend?
It's supposed to be shitty all weekend because like I think it was last year. I can't remember if it was last year, the year before. Like somehow like the Sunday of Labor Day is just, I think because I make an impassioned plea to everybody at the lake. I was like, we have one more day. Let's just have a day. And we always have like a great day. Like it.
Well, Sunday and Monday are supposed to be gorgeous.
It's not supposed to be nice. Not at the lake. It's gonna be terrible. And so just like the
I don't believe
fleeting,
you.
like,
I feel like you're playing this hard.
I just watch summer just like disappear, and it makes me sad. I think it also makes me sad because like I know I won't see everybody as much. And, like,
Right. I think that's the part that really bugs you the
every
most.
weekend with pretty much the same group of people and do this like every week. And I still see them throughout the year, and like we
just not as much.
I mean, it's still my friend group. Like we'll still go do stuff, but it's not the lake. Like we spend 3 days a week together every single weekend, and then that goes away, and then it gets cold and dark, and I'm just like.
But the friend group is also like grown up and having kids and like doing their own thing now, so you see them less now than you do
right. And I think that makes it harder too of like the summertime, and even though they have like they bring their kids, and like we're all there together, and then like they have kids that start school, and like the kids are in school
busy.
and back to that, and then it's like here's Ted sitting at the bar because he's a raging alcoholic according to the YouTube comments, and just by himself drinking the drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone.
Painted a very solemn picture.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to like enjoy the time that you do have and not like mourn it so much whenever it's over. Like just reflect and enjoy.
And also from your friend group's perspective here, if it was like that all year long, you probably wouldn't see him there as much.
We'd probably kill each other by then.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't. They wouldn't put. They wouldn't put all.
We already usually want to kill each other by Sundays anyway.
It's like an episode of Love Island up there.
They wouldn't put forth the effort to get down there and to make it happen because
and it's funny. It's like an ongoing. It's like an ongoing joke with my friend group that I will start making jokes. Like I'll be like, oh, see you in May. Like and they hate it because they get so mad because they're like, shut the up, because they're like, that's not true.
I'll see you next weekend.
Yeah, literally. They're like, we're doing something next weekend, and I'm like, whatever, sure. I guess I was like, this is the time that my phone number changes, and all of a sudden, like, it's like I might as well just send a text out to nobody because they're like, shut the like they get it's so fun, but it's like an ongoing joke, and they get so mad. And then about like March, April, May, like I'll start with them again and be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great to see you guys again. Like
they come crawling back to your boat.
Wow, look at everybody. Wow, it's so great. I haven't heard from you since like what was that, Labor Day? Yeah.
You need to like grab their phones at some point and change your contact name in their phones to like boat guy.
Yeah.
Or like boat and lake guy.
Yeah. But it's funny.
But I'm very much
I'm very much the person, like I need to have something to do. I don't like just like, I know this is going to sound great to you of like a weekend of sitting around and doing nothing and watching TV and relaxing and being like I don't like that. Like I need to be like, I want to go do something. Like I want to, whether it's go to a concert or go to this or do that. Like I want to go do something. I don't like sitting at home. I don't like just like, and so when that like option of the lake is taken away, then it's harder to find like, what am I going to do this week? Like it's what am I going to do this week? And if I go into a Friday in like November or December and I have nothing to do, I'm like, what am I going to do?
You're going to eat a bite of a chocolate bar and you're going to have a damn good time.
That's what I did this winter.
He hibernated on
You also had
chocolate.
a month without drinking.
Yeah, dry January. Yeah.
Or was it February?
January.
Was it January?
Dry January.
I remember it.
I made it too.
I remember it. It was a long,
my
cold
sweet
winter.
summer child, you don't
Now,
know
first off, dry January meaning just alcohol because I had a gummy and then I would have a chocolate and watch YouTube and just have a great night. Like
California
That
sober.
sounds like a wonderful time.
I know,
to me.
but I can only do that so much. Like I want to go out to a bar. I want to go to the football games. I do. I get bored. Like I don't like.
You don't like sitting alone with your thoughts.
No. And I think if
we have a toddler just like that.
If my therapist would unpack this, it would be like, because like I was an only child, right? So like I never had.
Oh yeah,
I was by myself a lot, so I just had your imagination and
just
like I did that. Like
I can't go back to that place.
Like I spent my whole childhood like playing video games by myself or watching movies or being at home on a Friday. Like that's what I did. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to go to the bar. I want to go to a football game.
You don't have to play video games by yourself anymore.
I want to go do that.
Like you can squat up with people and start playing online with people. I know it's not the same, but
I want to be floating in the water and I want to be on a boat and I want to do that, but it's fine. I like
found
fall.
her scar.
I don't mind fall. I really do I love being able to wear a hoodie and shorts. Like that's my favorite. Like
I love
wearing a hoodie and shorts and being comfortable and like outside where it's cool. You wake up in the morning and there's that nice, like, it's really cool.
The nipply morning. Crisp in the air. The mornings where you can drink a coffee and like sit outside, those are my jam.
If you had the lake all year round, you wouldn't appreciate it the way that you do during the summer. It would just mean like that, and people wouldn't be able to be there all year round. So like it would still be the same type of thing. They wouldn't come as much. True. So you have to enjoy what you have.
I also maintain that like 2020 was we say it all the time, like that 2020 was the peak lake year.
Sure.
And that it will never be as good as it was then, because we literally, and that was the time, you either would work from home or like, I don't know. I don't even think there were any rules in 2020 because you could just like not be there on Friday or just like leave it early on Fridays. And so our group from literally March, from when everything shut down in March, when there's nothing to do, would just like, let's all just go to the lake. And so from March till almost October of that, we were there 4 days a week, 4 days a week. All
That's awesome.
And we had more fun that summer. Like, I don't know why. It was just, that was like the peak summer. And we talk about it all the time. They were like, because now we're like old. And we would be on the boat every Friday and Saturday night until 1, 2 in the morning.
It was 4 years ago.
But you know,
we're old now.
Yeah, but you know what happens now? People have kids since then. People have different jobs since then. Like things are so different than they were then that we would literally every Friday and Saturday night be out on the boat till 1:32 in the morning. And just like, it'd just be fun. Like we would just do all this all the time. And we're like, that's as good as it will ever be. Now it's like, if we're up past 10:30, we're like doing good. They're like, we're old. I also struggle with that because I'm like, what are we doing?
When I was younger, we had a fun group and there was like one, but it was funny because it was one winter where it was just like everybody was single and everybody like we partied all the time and like and not like we had like Friendsgiving and like it was just such a great winter and like we would always talk about it. And then like one of the people in the friends group like drifted away and he ended up like getting into like drug, like it all just kind of fell apart. People got in relationships. Like it was never the same as it was like this one winter. And like we would always talk about how it was so great. Yeah. So I understand the nostalgic feeling of like wanting that time back because it made you feel like so good. But at the same time, it's like if you don't ever move forward, then you just get sad about thinking about that instead of just remembering like that, hey, there was this happy moment and it was one of the best times of my life. And that's something I'm going to like ingrain in my brain and never forget because I enjoyed that so much. And then,
it's like if the Chiefs played year round.
Yeah, it would be
there's
the
a
same.
season. You know what I mean? There's life is a stack of different seasons.
I guess, you got football. But then again, it's like what's the first 17 weeks of the football season are pretty irrelevant when you're the Chiefs because it doesn't matter. We'll win the Super Bowl no matter what, so it doesn't matter. But
you better knock on wood.
Okay, do you not feel that?
I think this wood is real.
Though? Hold on though. Realistically, think about it this way: has it not? Like I really think this year is going to feel different watching football because after last year, remember when things were not great and you're mad and you're angry, blah 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 blah, and we go out and we still win the Super Bowl. Because everything that happened from week 1 to 17 was irrelevant, right? So does it not make it different looking through of a lens of watching football? Like, how am I going to actually get like mad and frustrated? Oh no, we lost this game. But like at the same time, you're like, okay, like we got to get to the playoffs. Like,
but that was also dependent on our.
So I think it's just weird. I think it just changes the perspective of, I don't know, maybe that's just being like, like we're like a cocky perspective. But at the same time, you're like, we were like looking back of how angry we were when shit was going so bad for like 2 weeks when we were like losing and it was couldn't catch a pass and it looked really bad and we're like, this team, what the hell is going on? It's terrible. And then knowing that they turned it around and boom. And like, so now you watch it and you're like week 3, if they're playing like shit, it's kind of like, okay.
No, but that was only dependent on our division. And like we were still able to win the division. We still
have a shitty division. I don't know if you've seen. It's pretty bad.
But we don't know what it's going to be. So I guess it's dependent on the division whether or not losing games.
We got a rookie quarterback. We got a dude with weird mustache, and we got a guy. The Chargers maybe, but they're going to fall apart because of the Chargers. Division still sucks.
So we have to think about that too. And I also feel like if the Chiefs don't go to the playoffs or don't go to the Super Bowl this year, everyone's going to be like, the Chiefs suck. And I know
Which
that's
is fine.
because we were on top of the league for 2 years, but
5.
yeah.
My thought on this is what happened with the Chiefs last year. The reason that they won the Super Bowls was because they struggled early on. They went through their shit. They went through their shit early on in the season. And then by the time the playoffs came around, we're firing on all cylinders. Like everything got cleaned up by that point. All the other teams started going through their shit right around the time the playoffs started. So like timing of struggle was a deal, but they became the team that they became because of the struggles they went through. Of course, it's not the exact same team this year. There's going to be a lot of differences. But even when the Chiefs play better, even when they play great, even when they are the team that they are capable of being, it is still heart attack, butt pucker. Like
me watching from the other room because I can't possibly watch it.
So in case you didn't know, Candace only watches about 5 minutes of every game.
That's not true.
It is.
I watch it from my phone in the other.
It is ulcer inciting football, no matter what. Like the drama is real, no matter what. And I just know it's going to be that. I am
excited. I do like the fall part of I really do like football Sunday is just great.
Yes.
Like whether you're at a game or whether you're at home and especially if you don't have anything to do and it is like kind of a cool day outside, you make that pot of chili, you sit down on the couch at noon and you watch football for hours.
God, I love fall weather. I just do. I love it so much.
I do love a good fall weather. I just hate
crunchy.
I just don't like being crunchy. I like missing out on the summer.
The leaves.
I do
when the leaves are on the ground and like the air feels crispy and the leaves are crunchy.
And there is nothing better than like that fall day in like November when it's like 67 degrees outside and there's not a cloud in the sky and there's a little bit of a breeze. It's like that nice. Cool I'm
looking forward to that.
That is nice. I will agree with that. I miss my summer, but I'll get over it. It's going to be sad, Tony, for like probably a couple weeks. When it first gets cold, I'm going to dip a little bit in that first weekend.
We'll keep you medicated during that time.
But I also feel like
I'll get you some chips.
Thank you. I think we talked about it in like March or whenever, like when I said that I feel like something has to be my whole personality. I have to have that thing. And so like
it's like
January was, sober
Yeah.
Tony. That was my whole personality.
California sober.
Then we had California sober. And then like February and in March, I started playing golf.
That.
Never heard California sober?
No.
Yeah, that's where you don't drink, but you can take
all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, not all I don't think all the other stuff. I think just
the shrubberies.
I think
the shrubberies.
Because then it was golf. Golf was my personality for a few months, which I am excited to go play some golf again. But then it's the lake. Then it's like Tony. Yeah. Now it's going to be.
Now you got a full schedule of personalities.
Now it's going to be probably like, I think they have a medical term for somebody with that many personalities, but it's fine. But now it'll be football and golf. And
you got a full schedule.
Do you know what
Bar Tony?
My personality is? Don't sink in the quicksand. Just keep going.
Just keep swimming.
And don't sink in the quicksand.
Just keep swimming.
Because every time we move, it's quicksand. That's what it feels like.
With a Diet Coke in your hand. That's
absolutely, but it better be ice cold, ice cold, but not too cold because I don't want a frozen Diet Coke.
Cold in the sand.
No, you have an ice cold Diet Coke. That's
if I have my brewmate. This podcast is brought to you by. Just kidding.
By the Brewmate 3-in-1 and On Cloud. Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap up this edition of Thunder and Spark. We haven't seen any error messages. We haven't seen any.
Let's hope. I hope you guys funny this many times, and I'm not even that funny. I can't. I
hope you guys get to see this episode.
Me too. Episode like 8.2 because I think or 9. I think this is 9.
I'll just call it 47 and it'll be good.
We're just gonna jump ahead.
I think there's 2 episode 7s on there. So shout out to the Thunder and Spark 7.
Yeah, we were gonna do like 7.1, 7.
Well, yeah, and so then we technically recorded 9, and then that one didn't really exist. So this is like 9.2. You should put it on there as episode 9.
It would be like 9B. 9B. With the exits.
Yeah. 9 with an asterisk beside it.
Oh gosh.
Is it
asterisk?
How do you say it? Is it asterisk? I know, but there's an S in there.
No, there's only an asterisk if there's multiples.
Asterisk is how you. It's A-S-T-E-R.
Asterisk. R-I-S-K?
Yeah.
This is my new.
So that's I know. I like asterisk.
This is my new personality.
I say asterisk but I don't think that's right. I think you're supposed to say asterisk.
Huh.
I don't know.
Here.
I get messed up.
There we go. Pronunciation time.
You might be right, Tony. There is the S.
I know. I just don't know.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
But like, I feel like that's a lot. It's like asterisk. Asterisk. I feel like everybody says asterisk.
It sounds like you're just telling me my ass is at risk. It's like ass risk.
Do you want to know what the meaning is? It's used to refer readers to a note at the bottom of a page or text, or to show that a letter is missing from a word.
Or to tell you that your butt is about to get messed up.
Type it
Oh,
into,
it's a book.
you should type it into Urban Dictionary and see if there's an Urban Dictionary for asterisk.
Since that's my new thing, I'm learning.
Yeah, Urban Dictionary.
There we go.
There is, yes. All right, this should. What is it?
Or it says Urban Dictionary raw dogging. That was the first thing.
That's one of the things. It's like I've looked that up before to tell you what it means.
That's hilarious.
Oh, you've looked up.
That's
We had to tell
Raw
him to stop
dogging is-
saying raw dog.
Yeah,
There's nothing
I mean,
wrong
I
with
said
raw
it that
dogging.
one time when I said your dad was raw
Nothing
dog and
wrong.
cheese cubes.
That's fantastic.
To use one or more asterisks to cover up a suggestive word, you can use an asterisk, the word as blah blah blah,
Oh yeah.
to make or cause to seem suggestive. That's what Urban
Or-
Dictionary. Oh wait, or making a
It's
correction.
D-hole. That too. Okay.
This says,
we'll go ahead
I really want to come over and rotate your tires. That's how they used it in a sentence. Like that does not sound like.
Rotate your tires.
Yeah, that does not sound.
That doesn't sound.
I really want to rotate.
sexual.
I really want to
Like,
Sounds
rotate
very
your.
sexual.
Like I'm coming
Your
over to
asterisk.
I'm coming over to rotate your tires. Like, oh, I like the candles. You'd be like, no, like literally, I'm coming to rotate the tires. Your car needs it done.
I'm taking it to the shop. I'm gonna take your car to the shop.
Taking you to the shop. Rotate.
Oh, I'm ready.
We'll
No, I'm
rotate
like, I have an
them tire.
appointment.
I'm gonna swipe out them wiper blades.
Why does this feel like something that Nick would say?
No. This is Ginslinger and Jess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, we have a couple things though for the comments that people need to do. Give us your thoughts. Are you Team Rob or Team Leah? Just kidding, because
No, he's not. He's Team
I'm not
Rob.
kidding. I'm Team Rob 100%. Also, disclaimer, I haven't seen that much of it. I'm only on episode like 12.
Damn, you've gotten
12
far this
episodes.
week.
We're watching 3 a night.
days.
We're watching 3 in 4 days. We started Monday.
If
We're
only you
watching
had
3
started
in
when we asked you to start.
I know. But here's the problem, though. Here's what Caden said, though. This cast is really good. What happens with the next one? You think they're going to be as good? And then,
I think they're going to work really hard to
we
make
then have to make a pact as an office that we watch them
Together.
We don't get ahead of each other.
Well, they'll come out
They come out
episode by
weekly,
episode.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to make that pact as the next one. That way we are all current with.
I don't
what
want to
we're
hear
doing.
any of your lake bullshit because it's going to be happening over the weekend.
Oh, that's fine. I'm hooked.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll also
This is
have
Tony's
to.
new personality.
We're gonna have to start filming on Mondays so
I
that we
hate-
can talk about the episode that just aired too, and then push that content
Wait,
out.
do the sound again. I don't remember it.
Maybe that could be some
Like
like.
Elmo made the sound.
Maybe when it comes out, we could do like. It could be a exclusive like. We could have like just a short little
Thunder and
recap
Spark
of Love.
is now after Sun.
Yeah, we could be like After Island.
Welcome
Here's
to
the
After
thing
Thunder.
about
No, it could be
Love
us
Island.
3, us 4. Caden could come in here. We could have
Yeah.
like just a quick like recap. Like it could be our After Sun. It could be the After Island.
Here's the thing about Love Island and like how it's like we're watching AITA stories play out.
Oh my God, 100
On a reality
I mean,
show.
that text thing that we read could have literally been Rob and Leah. Like it was
Right.
that conversation. It was what was happening.
Here, I'm going to blow your mind right now, but at the end of this, you're going to be Team Rob and Leah. All right, let's go ahead and close up shop.
true.
Don't forget, follow at @TonySpark_ on TikTok.
Don't forget whatever he just said.
Excuse the out of me. What was that?
He was doing his plug and
For those of you listening, she just flipped me off. If you're not watching, she gave me the big giant middle fingers and was like, "Man," while I was saying that. Only the people that were not watching this. That's what she did.
Okay, I'm just going to leave you with this, that whenever you're driving, all the other drivers on the road are not out to get you and are not purposely trying to make your life a living hell.
That too.
So treat them with kindness and respect.
And the ultimate show of kindness and respect is to follow at @TonySpark_ on TikTok.
Protect your butts. Watch out for the asterisks.
Don't get cut by toenails.
I need validation from strangers on the internet. Follow me. Bye.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm upset too.
Oh my god. Everything affects her. She just wears.
I love the Love Island.
She's not the attention if she's not crying.
Is this just like
over there? Like
I can't.
is this just a female makeup thing, like in general?
Yes, 100%. And you do this, and you try like if you're getting ready to cry, you do
Tap tap tap.
this.
Also, thank God Hannah is gone because somebody needs to teach that girl something about makeup.
Hey.
No,
That's some mean girl
it
shit,
is
Tony.
too much. It looks so bad.
I will say that.
When she makes out with somebody and it looks like they just ate a bag of powdered donuts, that's too much.
I
mean,
I would not.
and she did that to herself, being kicked off that show.
I agree.
I mean,
'cause
she needed to go. The fact that she has a heart to heart with Kendall and blah, 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 and then immediately goes and kisses somebody else in the next one. She's like, I thought it'd be funny. Like, no, you're dumb.
No, she didn't think it was going to be funny.
She did. She said she thought it was a joke.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she's
But
dumb.
she did it to show Hakeem what he was missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like she did that because she.
And it again makes me feel bad for Kendall because Kendall, this entire show has been just like,
No, just wait till the reunion.
I can't.
Just wait till the reunion, and then you get to catch up on all the public drama that's like happening right now.
I was just glad that finally, because I know like when people get sent home, like there's every now and then there's a little bit of like bickering between the group of like, why the f- would you do that? Or like little snarky comments. But then finally now when Andrea gets sent home, they're like, it blows up.
Yeah.
And everybody's finally fighting with everybody. I'm like, all right.
y'all.
Also, I can't believe you didn't watch Jersey Shore.
Never.
I figured that was like the.
I watched when I was
loved
younger.
Jersey. Did you ever watch Jersey Shore?
I watched a little bit of like the first.
So at first, for the first few episodes of this, I thought that Aaron and Kayla were like Ronnie and Sam.
Mm.
But now I don't think they're like that. I mean, now granted, they may continue to fight more going through this, but they don't really fight that much. They'll have a little thing, but then they're just lovey-dovey high school-y couple
Aaron
right now still.
has this thing where, and how far into this are you? Like what
I'm
happened
on
last?
Andrea they just sent Andrea home.
Yeah.
Rob's losing his shit. That's the end of the episode.
Casa has not
She hasn't even
yet.
technically, I don't even know what that is.
Okay. So just wait. It gets so much worse.
Like, I'm sure it will, but like right now still, like they'll have a little disagreement, but their disagreement always comes like, I just like you so much.
Yeah.
I really like you too, but like, I don't know. I don't fucking, it's bollocks. I don't know. Like, but I feel like they're like that lovey-dovey high school-y couple right now still. And it always comes back like everybody's bickering and fighting and swapping around, but it just always goes back to those two of just being like,
You're going to see where Aaron ends up like disassociating whenever he gets into a stressful situation or whenever he does stupid things. It's like he's not in control when he does stupid things. And then when he has to confront the consequences of those stupid things, he completely will like disassociate. You just see him kind of go blank and like he can't process things. It's weird how different people
I think
react.
he's definitely got some trauma somewhere, like something. Because the way he responds to any kind of like attention, is to like gobble it up,
curl up in their lap and let them pet him like a dog.
Also thought it was funny that he didn't get to do the kissing challenge because Miguel showed up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Also, did you see in the kissing challenge? I was like, what is Hannah doing? She was like licking their faces. And I'm like, what is going on there?
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was hilarious.
Cordell.
All the guys pretty much said that Liv was a bad kisser. And she's like, what? I'm like, ooh. Maybe that's because you're incapable of forming a human connection with anybody. So
Could be. She's only 22, which surprised me. I thought she was.
She acts like it.
Older.
Yeah.
She started like you can see how she reacts to situations sometimes that you're like, yeah, like how she flipped out on Hakeem, and
it was she's
like melts down. He's like
me.
When she's like, you're not mature, and you're like, what? He's like, look what you're doing. You're screaming and running away and blah, blah, blah. He's like, this is not like, I'm not the one being mature.
You know,
you're flipping out.
I think she's just young.